is the Hudson River, and it's where, in 2009, Captain Sullenberger brought down a US Airways Airbus A320, known as the Miracle on the Hudson, and it landed right about there on the river. But that's not the only piece of interesting aviation history here on the Hudson River, because right in front of me is this. I mean, you want to get a scale for this thing, just look at the size of this thing. That up there, on the end, is an SR-71 Blackbird, believe it or not. That just gives you an idea of how big this ship is. So it's time now for me to head back to JFK Airport, but I do have a little bit of an issue with that. It is midweek rush hour in the evening, so currently it's going to take about an hour and a half to get from here in Manhattan across to JFK. And what's more, because it's peak time, Uber's prices are through the roof, and standard Uber at the moment is costing $120, and Uber Black is even more. It's over $200 to get over to the airport. There has to be an easier way to get to the airport than that, and I think I just might have found one. This is Wylde. They operate a helicopter shuttle service from downtown Manhattan to all the major New York airports. They'll cover the journey from Manhattan to JFK in around 5 minutes, compared to over an hour and a half if you're driving in rush hour or taking the subway. You simply book using their app on your phone or on their website, and a helicopter will whisk you to the airport for less than $200. Compared to an Uber, this isn't much more expensive and gets you there in a fraction of the time. Wylde operate a continuous service every single day between 3 heliports in Manhattan and the major airports, and you can book up to 20 minutes before departure. There's shuttles from 7 AM to 7 PM every weekday and from 11 to 7 on a Sunday. There's a range of add-ons you can purchase, including flexible tickets as well. Before you finish, you get a nice overview of the process involved in getting your Wylde helicopter out to the airport. At the payment stage, you can enter a promo code as well. I've popped a promo code down in the description below. If you use that when you're booking, you'll get $50 off your own trip with Wylde. I arrived at the Wylde Lounge on West 30th Street on the banks of the Hudson River 15 minutes before my flight. There we go, thank you.
No, would you be interested in going on the 540?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm going to text them and get
Yeah.
I can find that for you.
Once you're checked in, you get a snap band as a boarding pass, which serves as a cool souvenir too. I took a seat in their lounge while I was served a cup of coffee. There was barely time to drink it though before my ride to JFK landed right outside the window. My ride today was a Bell 407 helicopter that seats up to 6 passengers. We were called for boarding and escorted out to the waiting helicopter.
Alright guys, so everyone's going to follow me out in a single file line. When you get outside to the helicopter, I'm going to place you inside one by one. When you get on board, seatbelts and headsets, okay?
Alright.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Today there were 5 of us travelling, a family of 3, one lucky guy who was given the passenger seat up front, and myself. You can only take 1 carry-on bag and 1 personal item into the helicopter due to the weight and space restrictions on the chopper. Once everyone was on board, it was time to lift off over the Hudson River and begin our quick trip to the airport. Our route today took us south along the Hudson before rounding the bottom of Manhattan Island and heading direct for JFK Airport.
Flight time today was 7 minutes and 50 seconds at a cruising altitude of 500 feet. After takeoff we got some magnificent views of New York on this bumpy afternoon. You're probably wondering about the environmental issues about all of these helicopter flights taking people around New York. Blade Runner's a completely carbon neutral company, and on top of this they're aiming to introduce EVTOL, standing for Electric Vertical Takeoff and Landing Vehicles such as this one, in the future. Once we passed Manhattan, we flew overhead Brooklyn at 500 feet, on course direct to JFK. We touched down at the western end of JFK on the Shelter ramp. From the FBO we still had to get to the airport terminal, about a 5-minute drive in the included transfer limo. My flight today cost me $145, or $195 minus a $50 discount code. I've popped a promo code down in the description below. If you use that when you're booking, you'll get $50 off your own trip with Blade. It's expensive, but still works out much cheaper than an Uber Black and takes a fraction of the time, although by the time you've driven out to the heliport and had the ride to the terminal, it does take a little longer than the 5 minutes quoted. Still though, if you had the choice of sitting in traffic or soaring above it and arriving in style in a helicopter, which would you take?
Thanks very much. Cheers, bye bye.
Thanks for watching, and see you next time here on In-Flight Video.